Hi, everyone, and welcome to Truth Camp. I'm your host, Crystal Giznichek, with my co-host and wife, Sarah. We believe that there is something you can learn from everyone and want to help share these truths to help inspire and motivate. Thank you for spending time with us today. Now let's get started.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of Truth Camp. Not yet, bitch.
I'm so excited.
I'm your host, Sarah. This is my wife, Crystal, and our guest today
Is the one and only, magnificent
Ciarra Wilson.
Hi.
She's so precious.
Here I am.
We're not going to do the accent for the whole episode.
That's right. Just giving the people what they want.
I know. So this is a little delicious treat of an episode, because if any of you know us, there's probably some of you sitting at home right now being like,
and we talked about her on the first episode.
yeah, like this is
Love the
super
shout-out.
fucking awkward. Like, might be awkward for some, but like, we grew up together.
Yes.
We hated each other in high school.
Yes.
We dated each other after high school.
Yes.
We hated each other again. Well, really, she hated me for good cause.
Yes.
And then now she loves my wife more than me. So
Accurate.
brief synopsis of
Nice overview.
yes.
There you go.
That's all you needed to know.
We can wrap it up
Summary.
now.
All right, guys. See you later. Thank you.
Roll the
Thanks.
credits. I'm ready to dance.
So the first thing, like, we'll just like get into it. We'll let you get into it. Like, you know, bitch, introduce yourself.
Okay.
All that jazz.
Tell us about that wonderful Florida life.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Okay, so it's me. Hi, everyone. My name's Ciarra, and born and raised in Steubenville. Yes, like she said, we grew up together, went to school together, and about 7 years ago, I relocated to Florida, and I currently live on the west side, Gulf side, the best side. I work in construction. I have two wonderful cats. Shout out Winston and Kitten.
Lesbian and
I
construction.
feel like this is where
Yeah.
the graphic
Shocker.
comes in. Lesbian.
Gay as hell.
What do you do for your job?
So I work for an electrical subcontractor, and I love what I do. I've been in construction almost 4 years. So I built a hospital during the pandemic last year, which was interesting.
That's awesome.
And now we're building another hospital down in Tampa, and I kind of just help facilitate the project, do whatever the guys need me to do, and I tell everyone that comes in, they're like, oh, what's your role? You know, I'm a project coordinator, and I'm the resident den mother. I have 9 children that are grown men, but they're awesome. I love them to death, so it's like I have 9 brothers.
It's right in your comfort
It's
zone.
Right,
100%
right in my,
in your comfort zone.
Right in my pocket. I love it. So, yeah, that's what I do. And then when I'm not working, I'm at home because I live in a tourist trap and I can't even go to the beach. So
You should
hang
just
out at the
go and be
pool.
obnoxious.
I read a lot.
You're a
hang out
big
with my
family
cats.
person, too.
Big family person. Yeah, my dad's down in Florida, which is really nice to have somebody down
Shout
there.
out Kenny Wilson.
Shout out Kenny Wilson. So that was really nice. A good transition, having at least somebody down there, some type of family unit. So it's nice having a sister and family
And
close.
yes,
and home-cooked
Brenda,
food.
Kennedy.
And now you
We
live
love
closer to him, too, right?
Yeah, now
'Cause
I'm
you were
like
down
about
a little
30
more
minutes.
south.
Yeah, so it's easier. It's an easier commute. I mean, like, let's not kid. The traffic is enough to make you want to jerk the wheel a little bit. Yeah, it's beautiful. You know, it's gorgeous. It's summer. Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then I feel like you just bitch and complain most of the time.
I do. Yeah, I miss seasons. I miss mountains. I'm at 3 feet above sea level where I live. So.
But you get baby geckos in the house.
Yeah, there's a lot of
The
wildlife
cats
for sure.
get baby geckos.
Yeah, Kitten is the murderer. Winston is the savior. So
I think
it works out.
I feel like that's just because Winston is
He's just the sweetest boy.
he's just special.
I
up
just
here.
love him. I just love him the most.
So special.
So
And we have cats that kind of are soulmate kitty cats.
100%. They were like cut from the same cloth, but they both had like a really sharp turn.
Yeah.
White floofs.
Puggy and Winston.
Yeah, sharp dramatic turns
Yeah,
in their
they had
life.
sharp turns, but they're the best.
Yeah, it is really weird how they look so similar and act similar.
And we got
100%.
them at completely different times too.
Yeah.
And,
Oh, there's Dracula.
there's Dracula. That's our kitty. and we have his brother Pugsley.
Oh,
There's Pug Bug.
My two sons, for all intensive measures.
And there's Winston.
My firstborn and his crusty
Snaggletooth.
eyes and his snaggletooth.
The apple of her eye.
Wait, oh my
My
God, I know
absolute
this.
favorite.
Look at those.
Oh,
look at
look
there
at
it
that tongue.
The tongue and the freckles.
Little.
It's the tongue and the
That's Drac.
freckles
Look
for me.
at that precious
Aw, Dracula.
little nose and tongue.
He just needs like entrance music, like a wrestler. Dun, 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 dun.
Dun, 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 dun. Why are we think the same fucking song?
Oh, and there's Kitten.
there's Kitten.
I love Kitten.
I know. She's such
They're
a cute.
the best.
Look at them. Look at those beautiful
The
faces.
snaggletooth is definitely what the people want for sure. Yeah,
He's special.
he's my world. I love him
Now,
so
what
much.
is it? He doesn't have a penis?
No, he doesn't. So I have a trans cat. At one point when I was living in Florida, so there was me, multiracial lesbian, and then I had a gay black male roommate. Shout out Adrian. And then we had a trans cat. So it was like we checked every box on the census, including the other box, and we needed more lines. So yeah, he got really sick, and he had crystals. And for anybody who knows anything about cats, that's not good, especially for boy kitties. So. He got rushed to the vet, and to save his life, he needed a PU surgery. So it was kind of a little and a little redirection of the, the
P to V.
pump. Yeah. So now he's, we let him identify as whatever he wants.
He's
Winnie,
non-binary.
Winston, boy,
Non-binary.
you, come here. Yeah.
So another like interesting little tidbit we could talk about too that like you guys have in common is like the whole like gay experience, like coming out, being religious, raised
in case the
religious,
viewers
Being in
didn't
the
know,
closet.
I'm,
Yeah,
I'm no longer in the closet.
being in the
If anybody's
closet.
Confused on that. Shocker. Yes, it's no fun in there.
Wait, who'd you
don't
just
stay.
say that to the other night? You're like, get out of there, it's no fun.
I can't remember.
Somebody, well, Tutu, she was
Oh,
going to the
that's
closet.
right, she was
Yep,
in the closet.
yep, okay.
Get your ass out of there. So,
How old were you? Because I don't even know if I know your exact like coming out story.
So,
How
I
did
mean,
it
I
go?
kind of knew when I was about 6. I had a really big crush on my kindergarten teacher. We won't say who she is. She's a lovely woman, still to this day. I adore her.
She
and
might
her
want to
husband.
know.
Oh, she knows.
Okay.
Yeah, I
I was
told
going
her.
to say, she might want to know.
Against judgment from multiple people, I had to tell her.
It feels better, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. She was very receptive. So, yeah, so I knew in preschool, kindergarten, and going through, kids experience a range of feelings and emotions, right? So you kind of work things out. And when I hit middle school, it was kind of just like, oh boy, well, I can't fight this anymore. This is going to be interesting. And then like I did try to fight it in high school. But, growing up, we were raised in church, and we went to a few different churches.
Did you struggle at all with the religion stuff and like beating yourself up?
Oh,
with,
for
like,
sure.
Those feelings
Yeah, especially
and-
in high school, just because I was involved in the church that we were going to and like the youth programs. But it was also kind of, the older I got, the less I wanted to be involved. You get older, you're able to make decisions and have your own thoughts and ideas and opinions. So I really struggled in high school, and going to school where we went to school during that time, you didn't really come out of the closet if you wanted to have a mild experience in school. So
You were angry. You were very angry.
there was a lot of outside factors influencing the teenage angst. But yeah, it was tough, when you grow up and it's instilled in you that, certain things in this book that we read and worship are sins. That kind of really weighs on you, and you struggle with, your core belief system, and it's hard to kind of figure out who you are in that moment too. Like, and we live in a small town, so like it's obviously tough to hide it. So in high school, I went out with a few guys, more so to keep up with the image. But living a double life is tough, and doing it for 26 years is even tougher. That's why I minored in theater in college. So
now, did you like know that you were gay when you were like going out with these guys, or did you just
100%.
like
Yeah, it was terrible. It was terrible. I mean, and they're really sweet,
Yeah.
and it's kind of like, you know, if they're like chill and, you know, they're not like pushy and like gross, it's like, hey, this isn't going to work out. And if you ask why, like, I'm going to be honest with you. It's like, well, I mean, do you have a sister? She has a better chance than you do. You're nice, but do you have a sister? So, you know, you kind of have to like let them down gently. And then you get the ones that like don't understand that no is a complete sentence. Hard stop. And it's, you know, it's insistent and it's just constant. It's terrible.
So when did you finally take the leap and start like dating actively? And did you go away from the area or did you stay?
So I stayed. I didn't leave. Well, I went away for a year. I left. God, how old was I? I think I was already 21.
Where'd you go? Akron?
Yeah.
Is that when you were? Okay.
Yeah, I think I left around 21. I left and I went to school in Akron for a year, and that's when like I finally was like free. But I did have kind of like my first, not like real serious relationship, but like my first like female relationship. I was 20 and she was a smidge older than me.
But a bit older.
Sweet, a tinge, a skosh. And that was an interesting experience. It was the first time that like I kind of like thought I knew what heartbreak was, you know? But it was tough because there was a lot of factors involved with that. So I took that kind of hard, but it was a blessing leaving the area for sure. And then I got to Akron and I was wilding. It was crazy. It was the best time of my life. One of the best times of my life. And I like got to be who I was authentically. You know, I didn't have people that were going to see me out and report back to so-and-so. And it takes about 2.5 phone calls for, you know, someone's parents to find out something, even if, you know, you're a grown-ass adult. But
and I think that's so hard. Like, I wish parents would understand
Yeah.
that, like, if you let your kid be themselves,
right.
they won't go around your back, or they won't,
Right.
like, they need that safe.
Yeah, your kids shouldn't be terrified of you.
Yeah.
You know, like, they should want to be able to, like, come and be, like, have an open conversation without the fear of the hand of God.
And also, mind your fucking business.
That
like,
too.
God damn it.
Yeah.
Like, there's
Like, just
no
because
reason.
it's not for you
The
doesn't
short,
mean.
get to the point.
Yeah,
version.
mind your
Yeah.
fucking business.
Yeah.
Like, really, the problem and all that are those motherfuckers that are like, oh my God, I'm calling their parents because they need to know. Like, I'm sorry, your life fucking sucks that bad that you have to do that, but goddamn.
I mean, if you got any questions, just come ask a bitch. You know, you ain't got to go rooting around asking people that think they know me, because then we got a real problem. So
but that's what living
that's how
in this
people's
area
feelings
is.
get hurt. You know, everybody thinks they have a version of a story, and joke's on you. Look where we are right now. So, I had to flex a little bit. Sorry about that. This is a small flex, but yeah. So going away was really like a turning point for me, and like after being away, I didn't really care anymore.
And it gave you more clarity.
Yeah, I went out on my own. I can half-ass take care of myself. I can, you know, pay my own bills. So it was coming back was a little scary, but you know, I had a really good group of friends, and
then you cut that hair, bitch.
then I chopped the hair off. Yeah.
That was
How old
later,
were you
bye.
when
Pivotal.
you chopped yours?
Oh God.
We're over 21.
Yeah.
You were there when I
23?
chopped mine off.
I was there
I forgot
virtually.
about
I was there. It was
that.
awesome. I think I was about 23, and I just decided I was like, I'm done. I've had enough. I grew it out on purpose because I wanted to donate it. So, and I was in a friend's wedding, so I didn't want to like cut it before the wedding. So the wedding was in September, and I was like, all right, I'm just gonna go until I can't stand it anymore, because I also had like curly hair, so I had to basically straighten it upside down at that point. And this was when like flat irons like finally came out, and you didn't have to use an actual iron and a towel anymore. For the youngins that listen to the podcast, shout out. Yeah, we used to use irons on a very low setting. So yeah, coming back, cutting my hair was definitely an amazing experience. And the sweet boy who did actually, in fact, cut off like 3, like, I don't know,
Giant
16-inch
ponytails.
sections of hair. Yeah. He unfortunately passed away, but just love him to death. That was a really fun experience for the both of us. He was like, I'm nervous. I'm like, give me the scissors. Give me the clippers. Give me something. I'm ready. Let's go.
And you never looked back. You
Never
kept
looked
it
back.
short.
Yeah.
You were like a
kept it
different
short.
person after that, though.
Yeah.
I felt like,
It was like I kind of finally like stepped into my full skin.
yeah.
And it was
fuck
like
this
a,
hair.
you know, you can't tell me what to do with my body. I'm
Which
my own
you're
person.
never allowed to grow your hair out.
No,
ever.
no. It's just weird. It's
Like,
just
I feel
weird.
like this is you.
Yeah. for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I look homeless right now, but yeah, for sure.
Well, I mean, it is snowing.
It is
outside.
snowing. Yeah, it's a little bit colder than it is in Florida, just a little bit.
What is it, like 80 in Florida right now?
It's like 70s. It's actually really nice. It's the weather that us as Floridians wait all fucking year for, and then it gets ruined because
stretch.
all the tourists and snowbirds come down, and it's like, first of all, please learn how to drive in Florida. All right, there's 4 lanes. The left one, I promise you, is not for you. Just leave it
It's
at
because
that.
it's everybody from Ohio moving down to Florida.
Minnesotans
Stay in the
too.
left lane.
Yes.
Canadians, yeah, it's terrible. But anyway, sorry, ADD. What were we talking about?
So you went to Akron.
Oh,
You
yeah,
came
yeah.
back. You chopped your hair off.
Came back, chopped my hair off, and then we had a mutual friend, and she was like, "Oh yeah, let's go eat. You know, Sarah's gonna meet us." And I was like, "Sarah who?" She's like, "Sarah Richards." I was like, "Okay."
Womp womp.
I ain't seen her in a hot minute. Yeah, that was the picture from that night that we went to eat
I
at
still-
Sesame Grill.
yeah,
I still have it as
yeah.
well. It went from tannest to lightest, and ironically, I was the lightest.
I don't know. I was pretty ghost. You know who was the tannest,
Yeah,
bitch.
yeah,
the
that's true.
tannest.
The tannest.
But like also too, like we'll kind of back up, like because our high school experiences were so different.
Yeah.
Like I never knew what she went through in high school. Like I was completely oblivious to
I got
that.
tortured in high school. It was terrible.
And unfortunately,
I
like
think in high school, kids don't know.
no, you
Yeah.
have no idea what anybody else
what
goes
anyone else
through.
is going through.
No.
And like my friends were the people that were like making her life a living hell.
Yeah.
And
at that age too, you have so
Yeah.
many emotions, and you're figuring out
And like,
who you
and
are.
like we had
and-
like choir and stuff together, but other than that, like our paths never crossed. But I just opted to like stay out of that circle just because why would I put myself in
Yeah.
that situation? I'm gonna end up getting in some fights. My mom's gonna beat my ass, and it's a whole thing. And nobody wants that.
Yeah, so I definitely felt like shitty knowing that after the fact. But honestly, I feel like when we're in high school, like you're just trying to survive.
Yeah, 100%.
Like-
Especially there.
You ask any of us now, like we were literally just trying to survive in
Mhm.
high school. Had
Figuring
no
out who you
fucking
are.
clue what was going on.
And there were so many things that happened worldly. That was kind of like the kickoff to the shit show that is our adult lives.
Yeah, it's why we're
Our
not
freshman
phased
year of
by
high
anything.
school. Yeah, so like I mean, we're literally living through what we learned in history class. It's that's a whole different
Kicking it.
topic for a whole nother time.
But yeah, I remember that night. I wonder, is it on Facebook?
The picture?
Yeah.
Oh, probably. Hold on, let's see.
We went to go. Well, this was my pattern in life. I would like date someone and like disappear for fucking months and months at a time. Probably now I know this because I fucking can't pay attention to things. So I just had to immerse myself, and then I would get really fucking sick of it, and then I would like revolt and like need to go out. So I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Like this was my like grand
Revolt.
outing when I was like, fuck this shit.
Oh,
I'm tired of this.
yeah.
Also, if you're in your fucking 20s, do not date someone
No.
who is in their fucking 40s.
40s.
He lied.
Early 40s.
Listen,
Mine too. Mine too was early 40s.
Well,
We won't name her name.
you have no business. That's your mommy and daddy issues. Damn it. Stay away.
Yeah.
And also, I could not imagine that would be like us at
Us,
our
I
age
know.
right now dating like a 22-year-old.
I'm going to throw up on Dave's microphone. He's going to be really mad.
I just feel like at that point
You're a
you
fucking
just-
predator.
Yeah,
You're
it's
a
just
predator.
too.
You're
that's
grooming-
too much of a gap.
You have fucking issues.
You should be at a different point in your life when you're in your
100%.
40s than when you're in
100%.
your 20s.
Yeah, again, that was mental illness on both ends. But yeah, I was.
I lied. I don't think I have that picture
You
anymore.
probably deleted that picture.
Probably.
You might have it.
I'm gonna look.
You probably have it.
But anyways, continue. What was
Were
that?
we-
Sesame Grill.
It was a Sesame Girl. Oh my
Sesame.
God. So good. So where were we going with that?
So, well,
It's our ADD is.
All right,
bad
hold
when
on.
we're
Let me put
together.
this down.
It's like a superpower.
also, your birthday is December 9th.
Yes,
Mine's
we're
the
born
16th, 1 week
exactly
apart.
a week apart. Exactly a week. And it's funny because I was like 2 weeks late. I was supposed to be like a Thanksgiving baby. And my mom was like, meh, you came out when you were ready.
Stay in there.
And I'm just like, 80s. But yeah, born a week apart. Grew up, went to preschool together. Grew up essentially down
And
the
walking
street.
distance from one another.
Walking street distance from one another forever.
Mhm.
Really, until
After
I think-
high school.
Yeah, after high school. I went to one party at your house my senior year after homecoming, and I walked in and I like sat down and I was there for a minute and I was like, I'm gonna go.
All right, I'm gonna head out.
I'm gonna go. I dropped off said person to your party.
I think I remember this party, but I'm not really sure.
You don't remember the night like when I got there. I don't think you're gonna remember anything that happened at that point. Yeah. Your party was hopping though. It was crazy.
Always.
At the end of the street too.
So nice.
Multiple exit points if the cops showed up. Multiple.
Park over on Eve Drive. Walk your ass across the
cemetery's
hill.
big. You know what I'm saying? Good luck.
Fuck yeah.
It's also haunted, but there's
It's a fucking cemetery.
Yeah,
What the fuck do you think?
I love that cemetery.
Me
It's
too.
beautiful.
So I think the listeners are going to want to know, how did you guys be able to date also be able to like be friends?
All right, so we're going to get there. We're getting there. So
time is of the essence on that one.
I emerged from my groomed relationship, came out the house, and
I like the way she puts it.
I feel like that makes me want to rap.
There's this one pivotal moment that I remember very vividly, and my version of it is a little different than yours, but I'm sure you know better. We were at said person's house, and you were talking.
Yep.
So you were talking about this person who you're like, oh my God, she's so hot, like, but I don't know if she's like into me like that. And I'm like, fucking kiss her, make out with her, find out. Like,
I don't even remember who that person is, but
I'll remind you after.
Okay, perfect.
And then you're gonna laugh.
God, probably.
So actually, I'm gonna text it to you.
Oh, and what it was
go ahead.
You had asked me if I had ever slept with a guy, and I was like, no, I'm a gold star. And you're like, oh, you need to have that experience like at least once. And I was like,
sounds like Sarah.
And you literally hit me with an ultimatum. You're like, if you have sex with a guy, I'll have sex with a girl. And I was like, I don't know who took over my brain in that like 0.2 seconds before I said something, but like it definitely was not me. And that bitch whispered in my ear, take that fucking shot. So I was like, all right, well, if I have sex with a dude, you have to have sex with me. And you were like, Dale. And I like looked at
as
that
I'm
person
eating
and I was
chips and guacamole, like this is some good shit.
I was like, oh no.
But
I wasn't expecting that.
Let me also preface, at this point in time, I had like, I was fucking everything.
Oh my God.
Yes, bitch. Yes. I know you know.
I had to cackle away from the mic.
So I was just like,
do I know who that is?
Yeah, you do.
Probably
you do.
like 6 degrees of separation because, the Ohio Valley.
But I now realize that I am very much a pansexual person. Like, I don't give a fuck who you are, what you are, like.
Oh, I'm going to break this, I think.
You're not that strong, Hulk smash.
All right.
So for me, like I said, at the time, I'm not realizing that, like, bitch, you're fucking, bi, pan, whatever. So I'm just casually out here fucking whatever.
Doing your thing.
Doing my thing.
And honestly, like, I had no idea. I didn't know that because I was gone for a year. But, like, we did not run in the same circle.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't have known.
So then I started hanging out with you guys a little bit more.
Yeah.
And it was at this really tender time. And what had happened was, so God, how do I say? Do I be nice? Should I be nice? Do I be nice? Okay.
Probably.
So I was being pursued by someone. And
which I also didn't know at this point in time.
And we would meet like every Wednesday and get drinks. And like I would be with you guys and I'd be like, all right, I got to go meet so-and-so. We're going to have drinks.
And we would give you so much shit too. We'd be like, girl, you need to tighten up, get your shit together.
I know. I'm like, fuck you. I'm trying to get laid. Anyways.
How old were you? 20?
23, 24?
Somewhere around
23,
there.
23, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was about 23.
So that situation was happening. And I mean, it all gets kind of blurry. So you just butt in here.
Okay.
Where I was supposed to be going to Columbus.
Correct.
With this person.
Or you were going to go up and meet this person.
Well, listen, all week long.
Yeah.
It was happening. And then as the week progressed, like plans were disintegrating.
Yeah.
So you were like, just fucking come up.
Well, no, what happened was it was like a Thursday or Friday. And I came in because you were like, come in, I'll cut your hair. And I was
yeah.
like, oh, bet. Like, that's what's up. So I come in and you're like, oh, what are you getting into this weekend? And I was like, actually, I'm heading up to Columbus because it's Columbus Pride. And I'm meeting one of my really good friends from school. Her mom lives in Columbus and we always link up and we go. And then you were like, oh, shit, I'm supposed to be going up that way, too. I don't know if you said something about your aunt or not, but you just said something like...
I always stayed there.
Yeah. And I was like, well, shoot, like, if you, like, got free time, like, hit me up. We should link up. Like, it'll be fun. It'll be... Especially, like, the person that I was with was nuts. So, it was never a dull moment. And, you know, at this point, I was, like... a gaby. I was brand new, like living my best life. And Columbus Pride was the best because that's like the one time a year. I think it was good. Is it Goodale Park?
Yes.
Where they used to have it?
Yes.
It was free to titty, free to nipple.
Yes.
You could go around topless.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know
legal
that.
Because you were in the park.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is legal in Columbus, Ohio,
was awesome.
to have your titties out.
It was actually like kind of
that.
like a beautiful thing. But and you're like, yeah, that sounds like fun. And so
You're probably like, this bitch ain't
I was like,
calling.
she ain't gonna hit me up. But at this point, I had no like preconceived plan or notion. Like I was just genuinely like, yo, come hang out. It'd be fun. And like then I'll know somebody because the person I was with inevitably always ditch me chasing some type of hood rat. So yeah, and then you hit me up and you're like, hey, my plans fell through. Where are you guys at? And I was just like, oh shit. All right, cool. So we went out that night. We met up at like the park, I think.
Yeah, we met at the park.
And then we parted ways.
And you were like, we're going back out later tonight. So
We're going to this bar.
Which, it was a fucking blast. That was the first
Wall
Pride
Street.
that
Oh my
I had
God.
like...
I think Wall Street closed, actually.
I'm sure it
Was it
fucking
Wall Street?
did,
I think
yes.
it was Wall Street.
It was I had never been to Pride. So it was super, super fun. But I'm
was
like,
so
oh my
fun.
God, there's titties. Like super
Was that the
uncomfortable
one and
titties.
only time you've been to Pride?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say I don't
Terrible
even.
game.
I had a full Pride experience, goddammit. Yeah, so went to Pride, super chill. I just remember I went back to, my aunt lived in Columbus at the time. I would always stay with her. And I was, on my end, I got fucking stood up. I was hot. I was real tight.
I still didn't know anything at this
I know,
point
you had
either.
no
I had
clue.
no clue.
So I'm super pissed off because I had gotten stood up and felt lied to. And so I was like, fuck it. I'm going out. I'm going to have fun. And I'm not thinking about doing anything with her, but I am like, I might as well fuck around.
and I did not know
find
this
out
at the time.
while I'm there. So we go out, and I just very distinctly remember not being drunk
yeah.
because I was
don't-
trying real hard. I'm like, I,
had
gotta
like,
get drunk.
well, it took like a fucking hour to get like a beer. So anytime we went up there,
Oh,
like
it's fucking
I bought two because I knew I wasn't going to like get a chance to go back up there.
So I'm gonna say an initial, and then
Yeah.
the slight pivot point was when she came up to me, and I had never had a woman approach
This
me
is
like
the
this.
person that I attended Pride with.
Like, it was like a very magnetic experience. Like, number one, and no offense, she just was not attractive to me in any way, shape, or form. But the way she came at someone, it was like
she didn't give a fuck. She gave no fucks.
like she
Yeah.
had a pull towards. She had game, straight up had game.
Which is hilarious.
But you know I'm right.
Right. True. Yeah, you said that. You were like, her game was crazy. I was like, whose game?
And
This?
she got
This bitch?
so pissed. She like stepped in.
lit?
She was like,
Because I know her. I know what she was finna do. And I was like, please don't disrespect my friend. Like, you just met her. I invited her out. This is her first time probably around like a mecca of homosexuals.
Yes.
Please don't ruin this time. I was like, just please be chill. She was like, oh, okay, all right, I'm chill.
So rescued and saved from that one.
Yeah.
And how did we end up kissing?
We were literally in the middle of the dance floor. And I think there were people both like trying to like come and dance on us. And we were like, help. And we kind of just like came together and like looked at each other. And I mean, you're
That sounds
kind of
about
aggressive.
right.
So
That sounds
it happened.
about-
And like as it was happening, I was like,
I can't believe this is happening.
and I'm having an out-of-body experience. I'm watching my body do what it's doing, and I'm like, who is in control of this?
And then me, I'm just like, yeah, we're
And-
going.
And
like,
it was off to the races, basically.
So were you
after
guys
that.
together after that, or were you back and
it gets
forth?
it gets shitty. It gets shittier. You
In
ready?
my mind, we were kind of getting to that point, but there was like a whole different story that I wasn't privy to yet.
So we get back from Columbus, and I am now unpacking.
Oh, not to interrupt you, but just for all of the viewers and the listeners, this is the true story of how this happened. So I don't know what the y'all been hearing, okay, but this is it. All right, so take notes, do whatever you gotta do.
Unabridged, uncensored.
This is uncensored, unabridged.
And this is the first time I think I'm even hearing everything from
well, yeah, because you get both perspectives.
So,
yeah.
Like, I
it's
think
real
I've
fun
heard
because like
yours
now I
and
get to say whatever I want and there's no repercussions. So like I always like help Kristen gig up on Sarah. I still love you though.
So anyways, so I'm coming back from Columbus trying to like unpack what has just happened because like I up until this point I had never had feelings for a girl. Like I had
done stuff with girls
I had
prior
slept
to
with
that.
girls. I made
I
out with
also
all kinds
didn't
of
know any of
girls,
that
like,
information.
I mean,
everything was new for me.
So to me, I was just doing what people do and like realized that like, oh, my vagina wanted to have a conversation with me about this whole experience. And I was just
Excuse
like,
me, this is on now? Can we hear each other? Testing.
So it was really weird for me because I'm like, wait a minute, I've done this so many times and there have never been any feelings whatsoever. So what the fuck is this?
And you're out there telling kids if they just because they
just
kiss
because you kiss one person of the same sex and nothing happens doesn't mean when you get to like the 30th that sparks don't go off. Damn it!
Just listen to your body. It's typically
exactly. Listen to your body. So I come back from Columbus and the person that I was supposed to meet up with is, you know, all fucking apologetic and this shit happened and this happened and blah, blah, blah. Can I pick you up? Like,
we're going to go ahead and plant the first red flag.
Listen, no, pause. There's 5 red flags that should be up by here. There's a lot of fucking red flags.
I was being nice. I thought we were still on the nice train. Oh,
I mean, you
fuck
can.
It then.
Look, I will be nice. You
on site, baby.
You don't have to be nice. I'll be nice. So at this point, like this person's telling me like how they fucked up and they're super sorry and all this shit and how they want to be with me. And now I'm like, I don't know what the fuck to do because I have been pursuing this person super hard and like not getting anywhere. And then this happened and I was like, oh fuck. So
whose wrench is this?
Just bone too. So then that situation was so fucking weird. Like there was that attempt at reconciliation and I shit you not for 2 entire weeks. This person did not speak to me.
That's true.
Did not try to get in contact with me.
Yeah. Like 2 entire weeks after? Or
after coming back from Columbus, I'm sorry that all this shit happened, blah, blah, blah. And then for 2 weeks, we had 0 contact. Yeah. So I'm like, whatever. So for 2 entire weeks.
We was kicking it. We was Netflix and chilling before there was Netflix.
And then...
Now, did he know anything about that going on? Like, do you think that's a part of why...
in hindsight, I think that's the only reason he came back around. Like, 100%, that's the only reason I think he came back around because he saw that I was going in another direction.
And happy.
Yeah. Yeah, and like having fucking fun. So this cycle... It continued for like 6 years. And it was really, really fucking shitty of me.
10 out of 10 do not recommend.
No. Don't get in the fucking between someone's... It doesn't matter. Like, if you're in between, someone's fucked up like that, just don't. Just see you later.
Yeah.
But, like, I've told you, were it not for you, I know that, like, my life would be completely different. And, like, I credit you being in my life to getting her because I mean literally wingmanning it up.
You already know.
But seriously, like you like she never gave up. She never like she was there for me as a friend like always. So she stopped me from making a huge mistake. And
that was tough for me because this was like the first real relationship, the first real heartbreak. Like, and I mean, like, we've experienced things, you know, we've lost people, but like, I had never felt a pain like that before. And like, at the end of the day, regardless of all the shit that we went through, especially like, we were young and like, we went through some crazy shit together. And I still just, you know, even if it wasn't going to work out between us, I just did not want you to stay in that situation. Like I knew it was going to kill you.
which she saw me like at the absolute worst in that relationship, and she really predicted like everything that was going to come out of that relationship.
I mean, it got to a point where like,
oh, she defended me the one time, like,
oh, that was crazy.
Anyone who knows
like the warning stuff that was like thrown at you, did you think like she was just doing it to try to get you, or did you not believe it?
Well, I even like tried to like express like intently, like, I'm not trying to manipulate you or sway your decision. Like, I'm coming at you from a friend standpoint.
Yeah.
Like, I would say this to anybody, like, you was fucking up. Like, if you're gonna stay in this, I don't want to hear about it. Don't call crying. Like, I don't want to hear it. You're putting yourself in this position
and you see that sometimes with friends where they do that.
But I also could see why she was in that position, and like trying to pull somebody out of that scenario, it's tough. It's hard, especially when you got a master at the wheel. It's tough.
It was really like, anyone who knows me now, like, you would not believe the person that I was in this relationship. Like,
I said to her that like this, like when we like started, you know, being friends again and like hanging out, like, you're now the Sarah that I knew, that like I fell in love with. Like, you're back. You know what I mean? Like, the Sarah I knew is back. Like, I did not know who that bitch was for a hot minute.
It was
crazy.
Awful. So
and my friends were like, what are you doing?
Like, I'm trying to fucking save lives. Like, I'm trying so hard. And like, I knew like
crazy.
Yes, you were.
Yeah, it was crazy.
I feel like it was like everyone in fucking Steubenville had to deal with this situation
Shout out,
on
brother.
one side or another. Thanks, everybody.
It was crazy.
But it was
You were
really...
You're bringing her on Halloween?
Please don't. And I was like, seriously, I swear it's going to be chill.
And then that didn't happen.
And then it was never chill.
It was chill that one New Year's.
It was chill New Year's. New Year's was lit.
We had a good ass time that
was
New Year's.
so much fun.
Okay, wait,
Oh my
ADD.
God. Yeah.
So how did it completely end between you guys, and then how did you get back to being able to be okay to like have conversations? And
Well, do we want the short version?
Well, I'm going to be completely honest with you here. There's so much dissociation that I have that there was a point in the relationship that I had with this person where I literally completely shut down.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, well, if you're not going to kill yourself, then you just have to like let go and you have to completely give up. And I wrestled with that decision, and I ultimately I literally cannot remember things past a certain point because I just was like, fine, you win.
just like an autopilot.
Yeah, I seriously went.
It was crazy.
I completely shut down. Like, your objective was to break me.
Yeah.
Congratulations, you win.
Yeah.
And I didn't talk to any. I just was.
Mm-hmm.
And then I remember, like, you were moving.
Well,
like, you had to go.
So, long story short, I had been working that night, like bartending a holiday party that you were invited to.
And I don't remember
right,
this.
No, yeah. We can go over it later, but can't really name drop this particular scenario.
Text me. Because I really, this is so sad.
Just to jog your memory,
I seriously do
Yeah.
not remember this at all. Mm-mm. A Christmas party. Oh,
So,
yeah, okay.
And where I was at, I didn't have great service, so you were with the person who loved meddling in our situation.
He who shall not be named.
And she who
Oh,
shall not be named.
Yes, she who shall not be named.
And
Yep.
so you were like, oh, I'm out with so-and-so. And I was like, well, are you coming here? And not like, these people invited you. I'm at a work function. Like, you're making me like fucking look bad. Like, just say if you're coming or not. Just give me a yes or no. And then like, it was inevitable, and my gut would kick in, and it would be like, it would literally be like a whole human would be inside my body, like punching my organs. Like, bitch, this is a red flag. Something's going. What you think is happening is actually probably happening. So I ended up getting annihilated that night. Drove back because we were cohabitating, which also took me a while to kind of like really agree to do, and that was a tricky situation in itself. But it was like, I don't know, 2 a.m. and I'm trying to call you. I'm shit-faced, and at this point, 2 of our friends were there, and they were helping me like find all my stuff, trying to get all my stuff together. I'm crying, and then I'm angry, And I'm calling my friends because I just needed a place to like go for the night because I was not out to my family at this point in time. I call my dad, call my stepmom, but like I said, it's, at this point it's probably 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. And halfway through trying to get my shit together, y'all two pulled up outside and you sat outside the whole time. Yeah.
And
y'all was
also,
outside.
I remember none of this.
And so inevitably I ended up calling my parents' house, because I knew that they would answer the phone. And my stepdad answered, and I was like sobbing. I'm yelling. I'm like, I need you to come get me. I'm at Sarah's. I need help. I need to come home. Something happened. Okay. I'm getting in the car. So they get there, and my friends are still there, and I'm just like, I'm literally falling apart. Like, I don't even know how to describe it, but I'm like trying to like tell my stepdad what's going on, and I can't even get the words out, and he's just like, and I say it, and because like the story was, your mom moved to Columbus and like you needed a roommate, so I was like, oh, perfect. And it worked, right? So he's like, let's just get your stuff and get in the car, let's just go. He let me drive home. He followed me too, so I was leading the pack. So like I get home, my mom's awake, and at this point I just like, I completely like disassociated. I spilled my guts, told him, everybody's crying. My stepdad, I think he left and went out of the room, and my mom's downstairs and she's trying to hug me, and I'm like, okay, so maybe this isn't going to be as bad as I thought, because for a long time I did a lot of things in my life to I don't want to say please, but get approval of my parents. I went to school for like 7 years. I got like 3 degrees. Like I thought maybe if I did all of these good things, I volunteered, I did a lot of stuff. Maybe if I did all this stuff, when they found out that I was gay, being the only daughter growing up in a religious home, it wouldn't be so bad. That was not the case. It was pretty bad. So, yeah, I don't even know. I don't even know if I slept that night. Like I kind of blacked out for like 4 days. And then I knew inevitably that the talk or what have you, the altercation with my mother and my stepdad were coming, and I knew it was not going to be a good one. So I kind of like preemptively prepared. I had a duffel bag. I packed like a bunch of shit in it, like clothes. I crashed with you guys. I stayed with my best friend. I stayed with her mom, and I came home from work one day to grab some stuff, and my stepdad met me in the house, and we had some serious words that were not fun to hear. It was not a good coming out experience, especially after like getting my absolute fucking heart shattered like 5 days before, and they knew that.
So you weren't in a good headspace
at all. And then like cue the destructive downward spiral of just. And
you were like 23
20 no at
25
this point I was about, yeah, we were 25
still
26, yeah. And then it was just like drugs, alcohol, working, numbing the pain, partying, like doing shit I never thought I would do, to try to forget,
escape from all that.
It was tough because like I didn't know where to place the feelings because there was no closure with the situation. So then it was like, I don't even have a purpose. Like, what am I here for? Like I don't want to be here. So, depression is a motherfucker, and I tried to bounce out a couple times, and I learned that was not something I was good at, and I was like, all right, well, maybe I just need to get my life together, so quit being selfish and an asshole. So I decided that if I stayed here, I was going to die here, and I didn't want to put my family through that. Given everything that happened, I was still worried about their feelings, more so my brother than anything, but so I decided I needed to leave. And my dad had relocated to Florida the year before, and I went down for 2 weeks and loved it, helped him move. So for a whole year, I was trying to figure out how to get there. And then through a couple that I knew at a job that I worked, I was given an opportunity, and they were like, okay, well, awesome. If you want it, the job's yours, but you have to move to Florida. And I was like, okay. And I was like, when do we leave? They were like 2 weeks. And I was like, okay, bet. There was no hesitation, no like, what am I doing? I didn't tell my mom and my stepdad for like a week just because I didn't want to have to deal with that.
For an additional week of time.
Yeah. show. So I packed up and left, and we had like always had an issue kind of staying away from each other when we said we were done, and that was kind of the nail in the coffin for me, was leaving. And I didn't even want to see you. I didn't want to give you an explanation. Like, it was just like, fuck
And
you.
it was the best thing, because
It was really fucking hard though.
for
Like,
me in that position, like what I did to her was so fucked up. But like I couldn't stop it. Like, this is where I wanted to be, but then I had this whole other situation that was like, it looked good on paper.
Mm-hmm.
And the sun shone out of his asshole. And, you know, don't even get me started. But it was so hard because I was just caught between like a rock and a hard place. Like, this was stability. This was all unknown.
A risk.
And
especially like even then still in this town, there
Yes,
wasn't a lot of out couples. Like, oh, I mean, like, well, the
Well, you
stairs
couldn't even
were
get
fun.
married then.
No, you could not.
so I do remember, like, I would text you every day on your birthday.
Yep.
Or every year on your birthday.
Oh yeah, blocked,
sometimes
deleted.
Sometimes I would get something, and then like for several
5
years I got nothing. But
How long did it take you to date after?
a couple of years.
2, almost 3 years. Yeah. I mean, like, and you know, like you migrate, but
Yeah.
like my first serious relationship, which was also a fucking dud. That was also not a fun situation. Yeah. It took me like 2.5 years, but I had for me, I had to completely 86 her out of my life. Like, no contact whatsoever. And then like, you know, it's a small town. So like people love to like tell me stuff. And then, I think I was with my sister, and I don't know if I was on like social media or if someone told me that you guys got married, because I had met you when I was home.
Yeah. When we were dating.
And
that was like right in the beginning.
Yeah.
almost.
And you asked me to come because you wanted me to meet her. And I was like, what kind of fucking psychological thriller am I living in?
Time out. Back up, because the reason we started talking again is because I like...
You apologized. Didn't you text her?
I think-
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you did.
I text you. We kind of talked about some things.
Yeah.
And like I, you know, told you that terrible section of my life was over.
Right.
And
then, just not to interrupt you, but like, and when you're in a headspace with a situation like ours, when you hear that from the person that you had gone through all of this shit with, you're immediately like, oh, so okay, so things might go back to normal. You know, it didn't happen that way. But sorry, go ahead.
nope. So then we had that little
Yeah.
interaction, which
It was terrible. I was hammered. I walked up to the bar and I was like, I need a Jaeger and a can of Red Bull.
Yeah, it was
the
not
biggest glass that you have.
It was just that moment, that indicator, like, you're not ready.
My friends were like, do
ready.
not go. Do not go. Like, what is wrong with you? Oh my God. God bless Corinne. She was like, I will literally put my hands on you. Like, I'm not playing. If you walk out that door, don't come back in here. And I was like, bye.
Yeah, and we had mutual friends
What an
that knew
a-hole.
each other. Tammy knew Corinne from
yeah,
work.
and it was...
And she was
6
telling me,
degrees
like,
of
why are
separation.
you doing this? Like, what are you doing? And
Everybody
I'm like,
was
it's
like,
fine.
don't.
Like,
Maybe not. Maybe not.
but I didn't know a lot, obviously,
right. And
about
I
the
didn't know
history
what
stuff.
you knew.
Yeah.
So I was just like, okay, so I'm either getting set up, all right, or maybe she's like a little bit back to normal. And I thought I was going to be great. Like, I thought I was going to be good.
And honest to God, I thought the same thing. Like, because I would have
was not
never
good when I left.
I would have never put you in that position.
I did. I thought I was ready. I was like, nah, I'm good. But like, you know,
Nope.
liquor be talking shit.
I think
and
what
be,
it
like,
was
puffing your head up.
it was
thinking
like
you can do
another
some shit.
year.
Yeah, and after that, I was like, yeah, that was a terrible idea. And I get back, and they're like, you're dumb. And I'm like, I know. I need a shot, you know. And then I was like, yeah. And then I found out, I was with my sister, and I found out you guys got married, but I found out you guys got married in Florida. And I was like, oh, she on that type of vindictive train. And my sister's like, you need to calm the fuck down, first of all. People do this shit every day. And I'm like, but of all fucking places, this is bullshit. I was so mad. And then I was like, 30 minutes later, I was like, I'm good. She was like, are you good? Do we need to pull over? I was like, I'm all right. And I was like, damn. So I was like, nope, I got some more healing to do. You know, I got to start working on myself. And I struggled. Like, the job I had when I got down there, I unfortunately, that job ended. Well, it wasn't really unfortunately, but, and I struggled. I didn't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of. I crashed with some friends. Everything I had that I acquired, because I went down there with essentially nothing, I fit in my car or I kept at my neighbor's house. And I couch surfed for a minute. I came home for Thanksgiving. When I got back like 4 days later, I found an apartment. It was a shithole, but I had water and I had electricity. Like, none of my outlets worked in my apartment, but it was like the first thing that was mine. And I mean, I was doing what I had to do to survive. So I was bartending and stuff, and you know, paying bills.
Is that when you were at the brewery?
Yeah, that was such a fun job. And literally everyone and every connection that I have made to present day in Florida, I met working at that brewery.
Yeah,
Oh, no
you
way.
did meet a ton of people when you were
Crazy.
there.
If I drew a graph, it would probably cover the square mileage of fucking Steubenville. But yeah, so I started working, and I started meeting people and networking, and kind of fell into a construction job. And I'm like, oh, you know, did you go to school? And it's like, yeah, what'd you go to school for? So it's like, well, you know, I have an associate's degree in drafting and design. And they're like, oh, can you read drawings? And I'm like, well, yeah. And they're like, cool, you should apply. Like, you know, we need to hire, you know, we're looking to hire more women and diversify at this job. And I'm like, so you looking to like hire women or like gay it up?
And he was ticked all the boxes in one.
Both.
So.
He was
Yeah.
like, both. And I was like, okay, bet. And at the time I was dating somebody long distance. And he was like, when you get back, you know, send me your resume. But I mean, like, I bartended. I worked in a doctor's office.
Oh, I forgot about that.
I worked in a doctor's office for a little bit, and then I kind of got into construction, and I'm still doing that today because it definitely pays the bills and then some, even though it's outrageously expensive to live anywhere now. But I don't really know. Oh, I do know. I think it was like 2019, and you sent me, because I'd just broken up with Jennifer.
Yeah, it was a happy birthday on your birthday.
I had unblocked
I do
your.
remember
Because
that.
remember, I was like, I don't know, we're gonna see if she answers.
Yeah, and
or
I had
not.
unblocked your number like before that. And like that relationship with that girl, her and I, we ended on not a great terms. And
Which was, I said to her, I was like, maybe she just hates somebody else more than she hates me.
You did say that.
and it's not really like a hate, like her.
You had somewhere else.
Yes,
to
you had
throw
somewhere
that
to
ang-
aim
yeah.
that anger.
Yeah, and she literally was just like, "Hey kid, happy birthday," and I was like, "Thanks," and you were like, "Holy shit," you responded, and then it was just like. It was like we never missed a beat. It was just like back to like us being homies, like where we started. And
you were able to eventually
and
talk
honestly,
about things.
it was like when you sent me that, it was like I was sitting in my house, probably by my fucking self, and I was like, what am I doing this for? Like, why am I still doing this? Like, what do I get out of punishing you? Like, nothing. I'm over it. I'm past it. I've definitely learned a lot of lessons. I miss my friend, you know? And so that's why I was like, oh, fuck it, I'm going to respond. And then, yeah, that was really it. And then we had a lot of conversations they were hard. I mean, I'm sure they were hard for you, but they were hard for me to hear just because I had waited so long to hear that. It was like, okay, I appreciate you saying that.
Yeah, and it was
know?
like hard for me too, because I'm like,
Better late than never.
which you know how I navigate my life, which like I just do things and there's a path of destruction behind me that I am blissfully, truly 100%. I have no idea what's going on. Like I really, truly. Like
yeah,
if
I'm sure
do,
it's hard for you to hear the things that, like the pain that you
No,
caused
I mean,
after
I'm
the
very
fact.
aware.
Yeah.
And there were some things that like I'm super not proud of doing that I had to do because I had to try everything to get her to hate me, to like push her away from me, to keep her away.
Like it was like, I could even see like it was just intentional. And I literally would be like, what is wrong with you? Like, why are you doing this? Like, what is the problem? What's the problem?
And like, it was like you would take us out. Like we would be in this phase of our like situationship where we would be like completely hating one another. And by the end of the fucking night, not even 15 minutes into walking into the same place,
It was like inevitable. And I hated it because I was like, why am I not I'm being a pussy. Like, I am not strong. I have no self-control. What is it about this bitch that is like,
but
fucking light?
I mean, now in hindsight, like, I wholeheartedly mean that. Like, I would have made the worst fucking decision of my life. Like, I would probably not be alive. Like, there's no doubt in my mind. Like, I definitely think, like, I would have been out of here.
Out Prime, Hallmark, y'all want a script. Hit a bitch up.
I feel like, I don't think this is a Hallmark channel.
I mean, it could. They out here rolling out gay Christmas movies and shit.
This is not a Hallmark channel. There is too many drugs, alcohol, and sexual situations rolling up in this story. That ain't happening.
True.
Logo, maybe.
Might be a porno.
Yeah, well.
Listen,
You're on to something.
Where's the lie?
HBO or FX?
Yeah, we get Cinemax probably is our best shot. Yeah.
And then it was easy, I feel like, for us to kind of.
Oh yeah, like so, like and when I met you that night, that I didn't take it well. I was like, "Fuck, she's nice. Like, why do I like her?" I was like,
and I was so excited. I'm like, you guys are gonna love each other. This is gonna be great.
Fuck this town. I'm slamming this drink and I'm fucking leaving.
And that's about what
leaving.
happened.
And that's what I did. And I like got back and Corinne's like, how'd it go? And I was like, I like her. She's fucking nice. She's nice. Anyway. That's all I have to say about that. I like her. But like I told you, I think I could not have picked a better person for you. I love you so much. It's probably borderline inappropriate, but I promise it's not. I promise it's not.
But I feel like I had to deal with a lot of insecurities too.
100%,
and that's hard at
she's
first.
telling me, she was like, yeah, like we were having talks and she was like, Crystal's cool. And I'm like, I let Crystal speak for Crystal, okay? Don't be pulling this shit again, all right? Because now there's no repercussions, so I say whatever the fuck I want. I got you, homie.
But I'm very blissfully unaware. Like, I don't know if that's a good or bad thing.
You also don't have any like boundaries.
Yeah,
that's trauma.
Yeah,
that's a lifetime of trauma.
And my trauma, I'm like, don't ask questions. Don't ask questions.
Yeah, so I'm thinking, because I thought I had it, like I had my feelings under control. Like I knew where I was. I just assumed everybody else was on the same page, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, what do you think? Like, this is my best friend. What are you worried about? What's there to be worried about? Like,
and I'm like sitting here like, look, I am not trying to cause no shit. I don't fucking live here. Here's my phone. I barely talk to her because she don't never answer the phone or a text. But like, I'm like, was adamant. I'm like, I love Crystal. Like, please don't. And I think I said that to you that night, the first time I met her in the parking lot. I was like
don't fuck this
please
up.
Don't do to her what you did to me. I said, please don't, because she don't deserve that shit. And good job. And but yeah, like I adore you. Like you're my sister wife. You know what I mean? Like, and it's not weird for me because it's just like it's like my bonus friend. Like it's my bonus homie.
But it's
like an extra family member.
It's funny how it freaks people out so much. Like,
yeah.
I actually really do enjoy the look on people's faces.
I do too. It's so fun.
I love it. I think people think like, oh yeah, you're friends.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they're friends because everybody thinks they know.
Kill each other.
Everybody thinks they know the story and don't know any other shit. But like, we also enjoy that because like we're just like eating popcorn. Like y'all are fucking dumb.
And like really, like it was a super shitty situation, but like. Yeah. You know, we took our friends along for the ride too, but like it was
God
us.
Bless them.
Like it
bless them.
Hurt us the most in this situation. And like if we can get over it, then like I mean, like everybody else.
I'm glad you guys honestly like have each other, because I can see like as an outsider, like I wasn't there, I didn't know you during any of that. That like you guys do bring benefit to each other's lives, and you're meant to be in each other's lives.
Unfortunately, we are fucking stuck with one another. But I mean, I'm super grateful for you, and like I said, like I have like my bonus like sister wife. Like I love you so much, and people like.
You guys can like finish each other's sentences.
It's like ridiculous, yeah. And so,
and then when we have Kayla, we need Kayla here. Imaginary Kayla, we love you. She's a week before your birthday.
We're all fucking 7 days apart, and it is the weirdest thing I think that has ever happened.
And if you didn't believe in like astrology, like being around the three of us, you would 100% believe in it. Because
I mean, I still don't know fuck all about it, but I think I'm an archer. Sagittarius.
Yes, Sagittarius. That's
Yeah,
your
yeah.
sun sign, bitch.
Yeah.
As a friend who did go through all of it,
Oh shit.
An outsider.
Oh shit.
This man,
I had actually banned Sarah from the house at one point.
that's 100% accurate.
And it was the Halloween party where we had rented the bus where you were like, please just let her come. And I was like, no. And then finally I was like, all right, she can come, but I swear to God, if there's any problem, I will leave her in Pittsburgh.
Yeah. I'm beating your ass and she's getting left. And I was just like,
And
all right.
this is where like
Because I've also known Ciarra since she was a little girl.
Yeah,
I've
since,
known
like,
Ciarra's. I
was like maybe 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
So I was
been a
like,
long time.
she would come all wrecked, and I'd be like, "That's it, I'm
Yeah.
done." She's
They
not
would be
allowed
so
over
pissed.
here because we had people over at our house every single
Yeah.
weekend.
And then I was like whiling, trying to bring people over, and you would just be like, no. And open the door. All right, you can come on. It's just you? All right.
And it was always so terrible because I'm like, you know, you got to have like your people to vent to, but like
They're sick of hearing about it.
the version, like the version she brought back, and what she was saying, and then you guys get, and then I would just be like, you're fucking, like, no one's ever gonna fucking like me, even if I come around you, which
Yeah.
I'm not saying like feel sorry for me, but then in my mind too, I'm like, well, this is never gonna work because all our friends fucking hate me.
Yeah.
So why am I even doing this? Because nobody, like, I didn't have an opportunity to speak my side of things, which
But you were never going to be given that opportunity.
no,
either.
and not that I deserve that opportunity, but also like I will stand up for myself and say like what I was going through
Yeah.
was
also valid.
pure torture.
Yeah.
And
You had a lot of things like going on in that time.
It was
in
like
your
the
life.
perfect
yeah.
storm of just like
yeah, it was really
craziness.
like I was going through some really horrific psychological warfare.
Mm-hmm.
And physical abuse would have been it would have been easier to take that than what
Bruises
I had
fade,
to put up
man.
with.
That shit stays with you.
Yeah,
forever.
sorry.
No, get it out,
So
girl.
that frustrated me because I'm like, even if I want to run to her, I couldn't because I didn't want her friends to be dicks to me because everybody knows how fucking confrontational, argumentative I am.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, like I said, I didn't expect, not that I deserved to have my say during that time, but it was just like, I needed help more than anything, and just kind of caught you up in those things. And then your friends were being the best fucking friends.
Supportive. I mean, like,
by being
y'all
like,
were always there for me. Like, I mean, and let's be real.
Like,
Like,
I'll go-
I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for all of you. Like,
no, and it would be like, I'll go
You
watch
know?
you do this stupid fucking shit and
Yeah.
like tolerate
We'll be here
me
to come
when I
get
need
you.
to. If she has to be here,
yeah.
we'll tolerate
you
her.
smash your car, we'll figure out how to fucking hide
Yep.
it and cover it up. You know, they were there through literally everything, and I mean like everything. And your family's not always blood. You
I
know?
believe I asked you
No.
one question with that car thing. I was like, "Do you realize what you're asking me to do right now?"
Yeah, and I was like, I literally looked at you. I ran in and I was like, "Who's the most sober person here?" And you were just like me, and I was like, "We need to have a talk." And you were like looking at me and like had me, and I was just like, "I do," and I was like stone sober immediately, and I was just like, "Shit." Like,
I will say when I had like said you were banned and stuff like that, it never really particularly had anything to do with you because I didn't really know you.
yeah,
What it had to do with was what my friend was going through.
Absolutely.
yeah,
So like I could have ran into you somewhere else and you kind of told me the story and I probably would have been fairly responsive. It's why I never held it against you after I would see you somewhere
Right.
randomly or hear about, you and Crystal, because
Yeah.
it was never about you. I didn't know what your situation
Yeah.
was. It was just my friend was going through torture.
And that's what, like, if I was in your position, I would have done the same thing, just a whole less graciously. Like,
Yeah.
and that's,
I'm gracious till I get to that point, and then it's ugly.
yeah, and then it's on and popping.
and really,
About
like,
30
what
motherfuckers running up
what
at
you were taking back to everybody. Like, I honestly, I would have probably beat my ass.
Yeah, there
For
were times that I
sure.
had to beg. Do you understand the shitstorm you're going to cause me if you do this? Like, please don't do this. Because there was, I mean, like, there were multiple breaking points, but it was just kind of like I had to keep pushing, and they were keeping me sane and making sure I was like taking care of myself and going to work, and then we rage.
You may be partying too much.
Yeah. Yep.
Tomato.
And then we
tomato.
grew the fuck up.
Then I left and I ran away, and it was probably one of the best decisions I ever made. It saved me. And then we like kind of just reconnected, and it's like we never fucking missed a day. It's weird. Like, I don't know.
It is really weird. And I try to like
I
explain
don't
that
know.
to people. They're like, wait a minute. So you're friends.
With your
You
ex.
and your wife are friends with your ex-girlfriend. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
Because
We're like best fucking friends.
but I feel like if you can get to a place, if you are still feeling some sort of way, you still have some sort of feelings.
100%.
That you need to deal with, yeah.
Whether you know it or not.
Yeah.
you
And
know?
like, I encouraged you, Crystal, to be friends with your ex. Like, I mean, still to this day, if homeboy wants to act fucking right,
Don't get ran up on. You don't want this. This right here, you don't want this.
Yeah, but sometimes I just think
I know sometimes it's not going to
Yeah.
work out. Like, I have exes that I would never want to be friends with,
and some people bring something to your life, and some
Yeah.
people just it was their time, and it's the time has
really,
passed.
like, I'm proud of all of us because, you know, even growing up, I remember hearing about like adult relationships where like my parents would be whispering about like, can you believe that they're friends? Oh my God, that's so weird. Like, and I remember being like, what's the big fucking deal?
Yeah.
But it's
Who
so cool now though, because really, you fucking bitch, you two gang up on me more than anything
is the
because
highlight
you
of
have
my
the
life.
fucking unfair ass advantage,
I got all the dirt.
Yeah.
which is some bullshit. But it
Keeps
it's
you
so,
on your toes. It's all right.
It's so nice. And like, I wish that everybody could have a relationship like this where you know, if you're with somebody and you really love them, they're your best friend.
Yeah.
And then it is really sad if you don't have that relationship anymore and you lose your best friend. Well, like, I get to have my best friend, and my best friend just happens to love my wife, and like, it's wonderful.
Love you, mate.
And no,
Love
we're
you,
not all sleeping together,
No.
because I know some of the looks. You
No.
know,
Yeah.
people are like,
No.
no,
We're too old for that.
no, and like, you've handled it.
Like a fucking champ. I used to ask you all the time, I'm like, are you sure? Like, she can ask me anything she wants to know. I mean, I ain't gonna fucking lie, just so you know. Like, so let me know if
I'm
we gotta
like,
get
no,
our
don't
story
lie.
straight. But like,
And I think that just though for me personally,
Yeah.
it just took time. Like
Yeah.
it's not going to be day one where I'm just going to be like completely trust.
Gung-ho,
But
let's
like
do it, yeah.
we spent time together. Like we hung out.
Yeah.
We did things. Like
yeah, we've gone on like
We've-
trips and
yeah, we've been
hunted
to Florida
butterflies
and hung
yeah,
out
you guys
with
came to see me.
you,
Like
yeah.
it was awesome.
Yeah, like you told me, you're like, Sarah, like, you got to give me like, I got to get to know her.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm not, because again, I'm like, come on, let's all be friends.
Yeah, and it
Yay.
was like to the point where
And-
like we were like friends again, but like I wouldn't even like text you because like I didn't want her to think. But that just like
Well, also pause. What happened previously?
yeah, I didn't. You know, it was just like
What we were going off of, like, that was
yeah,
trauma.
it's just- with a capital T.
Yes, capital
This
T.
message has been brought to you by trauma.
Um, yes.
well, we could go on forever on this.
Yeah,
episode.
is there a part 2 to this? Because
Yeah,
I
we
could
could
fly
do it.
home
I
again
feel
for
like-
sure.
I want to wrap it up with Sarah being able to answer the question.
Oh yeah, I like questions.
Can we like wrap it up and then roll into part 2 like Bert and Tom do? This fucking hoe ain't gonna be
Who's
coming
Bert
back
and
to
Yeah, huh?
Florida
She'll-
anytime
It
soon.
will be good. We'll be able to have a part
It
2
will
with
be
her the
good.
next time she's in.
Rational.
I know. Yeah, I mean, like, and I'm at the point now too where it's like, Florida has served its purpose. I'm healed. I've done what I came to do. I miss
Come
seasons.
home.
I miss mountains.
back
Like, I'm ready to come
here.
home. You know. So if anybody out there is hiring, let me know. I work really well with others. I'm a very fast learner.
Plays
Hire
well with
her.
others.
Hire
Um,
this nice young lady.
Please hire me.
Send me your resume
There,
Okay, bet.
because you know
Ooh.
I can. I know.
Yeah, this
you
is
Got
guys.
some
true.
connect.
I
This
know
is true.
everybody, so I might be able to find you something.
I love you.
Yeah, always.
So the one question is, just name one experience or thing that you've been through
Mm-hmm.
that you've come out of it on the other side for people going through something similar that might help
Yeah,
them.
I mean, honestly, there were points in my life where like I didn't even like know why I was waking up in the morning. And I think kind of the turning point in my life, I was in Florida and I had just met so many awesome people at one time. It was kind of just like a sign, like, and I was struggling down in Florida. It was kind of just a sign like, yeah, you're struggling. You can feel sorry for yourself, but look at the past like 5-6 years. Like, look at what you went through. you still came out of it on top. It may have been an extra fucking like John Scott Highway bumpy road, but I still did it, you know. And if it wasn't for like the support of like my friends and my family, like God only knows where I would have been. But I also realized that like it's not a bad thing to get help. And for a long time I couldn't even afford it, you know, like I was doing things to just like keep my lights and my electric turned on. But I got to a point where I could, you know, get help and go talk to somebody. And like I broke a few. After like 30 minutes into the first session, the first person they sent me to, they were like, listen, I don't think I'm going to be able to help you. And I'm like, well, who do you go to? Because listen, you don't be doing this shit for a living and not have a therapist. So who do you go to? And it was like, I had to go through that like 3 or 4 times till I got to like the finish line. And I mean, like I maybe had like 4 or 5 sessions, and it was just like, but they were, I mean, like it was intense. And you really, you want to talk about digging up some shit. I mean, they work through everything if you get a good therapist, and you're allowed to shop around. You don't have to stick to somebody that they give you. But make sure you're getting somebody that serves your needs and listens to you. And, you know, and I was adamant that I didn't want any medication because of my past. So it's like, you know, I got to like do this old fashioned way. And there was a lot of nights that where I cried, and it was like, you know, write letters if you could say anything to this person. And it's like, I tell them to go fuck themselves and jump off the bridge. Like, see you later. Bye. And, you know, and then I would come back to the next session. They're like, well, what'd you write? And I was like, I didn't write anything. And they're like, get out. This is not a joke. Like, if you want to fix yourself and be here, you need to do the work. And I did the work. And I really relied on the people that I know truly love me and listen and care. And that's kind of what got me through it. And now I think about all the things that I would have missed if I would have actually like succeeded or gone through with certain things. And I can't even like stand the thought of that. It just immediately makes me want to cry. So if you are struggling or if you need help, I mean, I don't even have to know you. You don't have to tell me your name. Like, I'm going to cry right now. It's a rough week to do an honest podcast.
Shit. I'm sorry. Yep.
But seriously, reach out. You know, any one of us would be more than willing to talk. And, you know, anything. I mean, I guarantee you, one of the 3 of us has been through it, if not all of us. So
yeah, never give up.
You know, I honestly, I don't have to know you. You don't have to tell me your situation. You know, it's just like, if you just want to like call in bullshit. Like, I get off work at 4:00 every day. Hit me up. You know.
Also, you're such a great example of like, just real quick, like, you know, family isn't just who is your family.
Yeah.
It is who you choose.
You're allowed to choose your family for sure.
I think I think you're going to agree with it. Like, you would not be who you are and where you are without your friend group.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. I mean, they literally saved my life. Like, there's no 2 ways about it. I mean, every single person had a hand in that. And I know y'all are going to talk shit when you hear this, so kiss my ass now and thanks. But it's important that you have people who genuinely love you and care about you, not people that want to like go out and get fucked up. Like, by the way, which is extremely overrated, especially in this town. You just, you know, if you find somebody that you love and accepts your weirdness, like, stick with them no matter what happens. Like, you may go through some crazy shit, but, you know, as long as, you know, you're an adult about the situation and you learn how to heal for yourself, not for anybody else, but for yourself, I think that's when you really start to see your life change and the blessings kind of flow, if you will. But yeah, having an important, like, key support group is detrimental. And I mean, like I said, you might think you're alone, but you're not. I mean, you're not alone. You're not. I promise you. Listen to us, small town homos. All right, going through what we went through, raised religiously, battling with what you battled with, and just staying true to yourself. The only person who knows you is you, you know, and that's only if you're honest with yourself. Yeah. So there may be a lot of shit you got to go through, but at the end of the day, you're going to live a happier and productive life. You know, it's
get you a good therapist, get you
that
some
good
ass friends.
Listen, you get what you pay for. All right, $25 ain't gonna cut shit, including gas.
Fucking hate you.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today.
Super fun,
and we'll definitely have you on again.
I can't wait for round 2. But yeah, This was a good time. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Can we have a pet? Can we have a pet next time?
Fun. Can we bring a
I
pet?
thought we were doing like a hand.
Oh yeah, let's
secret
get in like a
handshake.
Captain
Oh,
Planet.
listen, this is the gayest shit I think I've ever been a
Captain
part of.
Planet. He's a gay
Join.
hero.
You're supposed to join.
Them tights on Captain Planet, girl, you ain't fooling nobody.
The sex might have been gayer.
100%.
Yeah, that's accurate. Yeah, I mean, some of that sex happened in your house, just so you know.
Sorry, Dave.
Well aware.
There was a spare room for a reason.
Well aware.
There was sex to be had in that house.
In, around, all over.
Take a black light to that bitch.
On that note,
On that note,
Sorry, done, because you bought that.
Sorry about that, Dun. It looks great, by the way.
probably committed murder in that house. There's too much DNA. You'd be all right. All right, sorry, I'm done. Thank you guys for
Thanks.
watching.
thank you.
And we'll see you next episode.
See you next time.
Toodaloo.